Okay, so Book Like a Boss. We already kind of gave the intro earlier, so go ahead and watch the other video on here if you did not watch that, or catch the replay there on why you need a booking system on your site. But Book Like a Boss basically allows you to get started and making those paid billings in just a few minutes. And again, we're going to do a walkthrough live here in a little bit and go through that and answer any questions as we go, again, about this system or any other system generically. But allows you to create your booking page and start taking that in less than 10 minutes. Just you choose your page name, set up your availability, list your products and services if you're using the paid the version to be able to take payments, connect it with that, sync it with your calendar, and then you can get paid all within 10 minutes. So we're going to go over that again, Book Like a Boss, for today's software. So as we go through here, we're going to teach you how to book like a boss. I love the name of their company there and their slogan there. This is their slogan: more bookings equals more money. We already talked about why that's important to use the booking software in order for you to do that. So again, watch the replay if you did not see that. But the Book Like a Boss is, we'll go over the dashboard here in a little bit, but basically it has a really great dashboard to manage your business from. That dashboard. You get to see today's schedule, see all the bookings, easily view your calendar and create the calendars. It has an embed messaging system from people where you can write back and forth. And then it's, they say easier than drag and drop, but it's very easy to use. And it's kind of your one-stop shop to open up the day and then see what you're doing for your client base. As you get it set up, you can do unlimited packages and appointments. So a lot of the systems limit the number of appointments you can have or number of products or packages. Book Like a Boss does not limit you in any way. You can have unlimited, basically anything, unlimited bookings. They don't restrict by the number of clients as well. You pay for the system, you get unlimited everything on that. You build out obviously you can even do custom ones and keep them hidden from your main page. So you could literally make a separate landing page, a separate booking for every client, and make a custom page for that particular client if you wanted to. So that they could book from their own page that looks like you made it specifically for them. So don't recommend necessarily doing that, but you could, right? It's unlimited pages, unlimited landing pages, unlimited booking styles. It's all up to you, and you can do as many as you want. A package is basically a service like John already kind of alluded to it earlier. It could be logo design, massage, consulting, booking, seating for a restaurant, dog walking services, whatever. Basically, whatever you're offering to the client, the ability to book either for your time, for a service, for a product, specified time, or a physical product, right? It could be a book, a DVD, a T-shirt that you're going to ship to your customers, or a digital product. It could be an MP3, an ebook, a video download, or something that you send to them via email. Basically, whatever it is, your time, a product, a digital product, an actual product, or a service, you can do all of that in Book Like a Boss inside of their software. It also allows you to sell, as I said before, an unlimited number of products and services, and some of the other services too. If you're going to sell stuff, they actually take a percentage of your sales. Theirs is they just sell the software, and the actual sales is 100% yours. So they don't take anything or skim it off the top. And then we've already kind of talked about in the previous slide, but you can sell your time for products or services. They could just schedule that time and not have to pay for it, and you use a different system. We talked about that as well. You could sell your digital or physical services, and they have payments, Stripe and Square. And a lot of them have Stripe and PayPal, but they have Square, so that's really good for if you have restaurant clients or some other physical locations that a lot of them use Square. So that's a great integration that a lot of those other companies do not have. And then you can do custom coupon codes, again, per person, per page, or per service that just allows you to, just like your BD directory, to give a discounted pricing code for their offerings. So the really where the power comes in from, I think this one, vice some of the other ones, or they all kind of have some integration, but this one is just works flawlessly, or at least it has for me. John can attest to his perspective, but it does two-way calendar sync. So a lot of the other calendars pull the calendar, but don't necessarily sync it. This one does two-way calendar sync and automatically updates, imports all your calendar entries, and sends new bookings directly back to that calendar for the sync. And as we talked about earlier, if it then one of the next meeting times you have scheduled is affected by the buffer that you set, then that calendar just automatically gets updated and only offers the available times for you. You can have multiple calendars. So as you know, you can have multiple calendars in your iCal, your Google Calendar, Gmail, whatever. And this allows you to pick and choose which calendars you want to add in there. So if you don't care about what your wife is doing, don't include her calendar. But if you have a family calendar where her events affect you, and that's how I have it set up for me, I include the family calendar on there. And then I know if we're doing something as a family, that just takes those times off from the calendar. So multiple calendars, as many as you want, one-click integration, and those are on your schedule. It has availability settings, so you can choose when to offer your services and how much of each appointment and globally affects for all of them or for a particular event or calendar type. So you can change that per day of the week or have universal things and just kind of have it apply to the rest of the week. And then the great thing about this one is just, I think the biggest thing that I've seen that's been the snag in some other systems like Google Meet or some other systems that don't have time zone detection. It's very, very confusing when I make a booking with somebody in the UK and it sends me an email with the time in UK time that's in fine print, and I don't realize it's in UK time and it's not in my Eastern Standard Time zone where I'm at. It just gets confusing. So this has built-in time zone detection. You can have clients around the world, and then they get to see the availability in their time zone, not in yours. And they automatically take care of that based on their location. So this is honestly probably one of the biggest selling factors, in my opinion, that pays its dividends, especially if you have multiple time zones. And obviously I'm digital with people all over the world, so that's very beneficial to me. You can change the duration from 5 minutes to 12 hours. You can have intervals on how many slots are shown. You can change the customer success message on there. So when you do that, they get a message and you can change that. We already talked about the custom fields where you can do an intake form. So it's not just your email and phone number. It can be any particular items that you put in the form. You can get all that data. And again, that's why it's probably better than doing it over the phone. You can have cutoff times so that you stop at certain times. And I already talked about the calendar integration will automatically change your booking availability based on the calendars. And then you can have a max cutoff in days ahead of the I'm just going to mute everybody again just to make it quiet here. But max cutoff, you can do days in advance. So let's say I don't want to have a book. I'm on a webinar right now. Let's say I'm available the next hour. I don't want somebody to randomly book like 5 minutes before the opening, because I'm not going to have time to check my calendar, or I won't have time to prepare. So you can set up the cutoff and say, hey, I don't want anybody to book any earlier than 4 hours from the present time. So right now it's 3 o'clock Eastern. If I say I have a 4 hour buffer, nobody's going to be able to book an event before 7 o'clock tonight, because it just basically cuts off those rotating times when that 4 hour buffer hits. And then you can do a max cutoff of days in advance as well. So you can just say, I don't want anybody to book out more than 1 week in advance. I want to be able to make my vacation time or something and have it not book like 3 months out and have me not be available or have to cancel things because I add stuff to my calendar outside of my set dates. You can hide specific appointments. You can do custom URLs for each service. We already talked about everything gets its own landing page. You can do one per customer. Again, unlimited for the Book Like a Boss system. And then you can do paddings on either side. So we already talked about that ad nauseum a few minutes ago, but you can do like a half-hour pad before or after, and the calendar will automatically update. You can do group bookings on here, so you can have the max participants and have multiple attendees. They just added that, so group participations. It's not just one person; it can be multiple people. So this comes into handy when you're doing webinars, or you can do that in the system, or events where you can have everybody show up. Maybe you have one Zoom room that you provide them, but you limit the number of attendees to say 5 people, and that can only that number can be the max participant for that particular booking level. You can auto pre-approve things and then have a date rate option. So tons of stuff, and we'll go through this in the actual walkthrough here in a little bit. The biggest thing and biggest, I think a lot of them are doing this now, but these are Book Like a Boss is one of the first ones to do this. They have automated Zoom meeting integration. and you do not have, and I'll star this one, so some of the other ones require the paid version. You do not need to pay for Zoom for this to work. I do this all the time. I use this for all my clients. I have never paid Zoom a single penny, and it works like a charm. So all you have to do is add your API, the Zoom integration in there, and automatically when somebody clicks that meeting, if you guys did that while I was doing the presentation here with me, it'll auto create an independent Zoom room for that particular meeting and integrates that into the email and all of the reminder services, and you don't have to do anything. You literally get, like for me, if I have somebody booked, I just get an SMS notification an hour, one day, and then 1 hour prior to the meeting. And I didn't do anything. I just look at it and go, oh, hey, I got a meeting in 1 hour with John. And then I can go, get ready for that meeting or the day prior, because I get one the day prior as well. So one-click integration with Zoom. As soon as they, for any meeting, any product, you can add that in there. One click, turn on a Zoom meeting for that particular session, and it automagically creates the Zoom meeting and works flawlessly for that. We already talked about the calendar thing there, so you can avoid those late shows and no shows for good with those automatic reminders. So I kind of mentioned that. You can set up to 5 reminder emails for every service you offer, and SMS reminders, again, up to 5 on the frequency for that. I set mine at a day prior, and I think an hour or a half hour prior too, just so they don't forget. It reminds them the day prior that, oh, you got a meeting with me tomorrow, and then about a half hour before the meeting, it says, oh, hey, you have a meeting with Ryan in a half hour, and reduces those no shows. I already talked about the multiple recipients and being able to customize those emails to your brand and text as well. Whatever you want, you can add in those emails. So here's just an example of one from the system. This is actually one long email. I just broke it up into 2 parts there, so you can kind of see it on the screen better. But this is how beautiful the emails are. It says you're booking with this. This is the one I get as the admin. It looks the same thing from your side as the user. It says, hey, you're booking with so-and-so, will take place in 1 day. Here's the booking information. Here's the date and time. Here's the name, their email, and there's the one click to the Zoom meeting. And then you can add that to your calendar, either Outlook, Google, Apple iCalendar, or your mobile device. You can add that to your device if it goes to an email where it's not already integrated. We already talked about it's two-way sync, so it's probably already in your calendar because it's your system, but they're going to do the same thing on the client end. It's probably not in their system because you don't have access to their calendar. So this allows them to, again, not forget it, one click, add it to their Apple iCalendar, Google Calendar, et cetera, so that they can on their own terms realize when your meeting is so they don't miss it. So we talked about this a little bit earlier as well, but you get the custom landing page. So here's just an example of how it works. You can they have a built-in CMS that allows you to build and edit your booking web system. So it allows you to edit the content and images and add some styling as well to make sure it matches your website branding. And you can publish new content, modify the booking details to display on there, logos, images, and et cetera. And I'll show you a few examples of those here. And we'll actually go to John's site here in a minute when we're done talking, and I'll let him talk as well. But here's an example of one. You can add videos in there, a welcome email. Here's another, look and feel. Again, just different header, different video, different look. And then here's John's actual Book Like a Boss for helpingours.com. And that's what shows up for him. And I'll let him talk here in a second when we're done. Here's some other features that you can do and add on your page. You can add the testimonials on there. So we talked about getting feedback testimonials. We talked about the Endorsal before that we have available on Directory Toolkit. It doesn't integrate with that, but you can just grab those testimonials that you're getting from another system through the chat, Feedier, or Endorsal, whatever system you have, and you can just kind of add those in there in the system real easy and put those on your booking page, again, to kind of show that social proof on your actual site for testimonials that you do good work. You can add frequently asked questions on there to have that built in there, so you can add frequently asked questions. And again, you're just trying to overcome, when they get to your booking page, any initial hurdles or questions that you have, you're just answering them. So there's no reason that they're not going to go ahead and book that system. It has a built-in gallery, so you can add videos or images on there, I believe, just to kind of show your work or show other examples of stuff, just, again, to entice them to go ahead and schedule the booking with you. And then it also has other integrations in there for you. Tony talked about this, about not being able to get the data into their CRM or whatever. Book Like a Boss has a Zapier integration, so I think you're limited to 2,000 integrations there with your account. Like Book Like a Boss, you can get that data into whatever you want, and it has some other native integrations as well. It has call page integration. I'll show you that on my live one. I think as well in a second here, that has that. Basically, you can call straight to you from that page. And then coming soon to a Book Like a Boss near you, instead of Zoom, it's also going to offer a Google Meet integration shortly as well. So if you don't like to use Zoom, which who doesn't like Zoom, but if you're on that, people that don't like Zoom or have something else, you can actually use the free Google Meet as well. And that will become available shortly. So tons of integrations that you guys can use for your system. In terms of payment gateways, we already talked about that. Stripe, Square, and PayPal has Stripe and PayPal, two of the most common ones for online, and then Square, obviously, for offline is probably the biggest POS, and that's point of sale, I guess, for that acronym. not a POS. I actually like Stripe or Square, but that's a lot of the offline venues actually use that. And then if you have the full paid version, the high end, you also can get a custom domain. For the offer today, you're going to be able to get the one where you just book and integrates with your calendar, and it'll be on my basically domain for a sub account under me, but it'll be a subdirectory under directorybooking.com. So it'll be directorybooking.com / whatever you want. Normally it's under bookme.name. As you saw in mine, it was bookme.name / mlocal. But if you don't, you can use bookme.name with the system. But if you get it with me, it'll just be directorybooking.com and then whatever / whatever business name you want on that. So it's kind of white labeled under directory booking. It looks like your directory for a booking service, but it'll just have your Vineland NJ or whatever your directory is called after the / on that for today's offer. And so before I get into the live thing, and I'll let John talk to you about that while I'm setting that up, about what his experience is with Book Like a Boss. What I'm offering up today is they have different pricing tiers. One's just, it's called the espresso pricing. That's just for where you integrate with your calendar and you make bookings on the site, but you can't charge people into your account for that. You're not charging. You're just basically adding a calendar, being able to talk to people. Their espresso plan is $90 a year for all those functions that we just talked about. For today's webinar only, I got the link on there, and I'll show you where that's at here in a second as well. $60 a year. I'm just doing it by year. It actually is $5 a month is what that equates to, but $60 a year will be an annual pricing only for today, just because I don't want people doing it for a month for $5 and then having me switch people out. Doesn't make sense for me. So they have a 90 per year pricing. I'm going to do it for a year, $60. There's only 5 of those available for everybody today, and that'll be for life. So it's the exact same plan of the Book Like a Boss espresso pricing. On their webpage, you can go there and check it out, booklikeaboss.com, to see the pricing. But same exact espresso thing for you, and it's $60 a year, and that can be yours today. And again, if you go to directortoolkit.com, it'll be right there in the products, and you can avail yourself of that, of the Book Like a Boss, the Zoom integration. I'm going to throw this out there as well. I'd already previously talked about this with John. The accounts that you guys are going to get actually do have the capability of charging people and putting prices in there, but it actually goes to, because it's basically a sub account for my company, it will go to my company as opposed to yours, because you can't actually add in your company model there. But it does offer the capability to do that. So if for some reason you want to keep that account, then you want to use the paid thing on your own, you can then just stop that and upgrade to the Book Like a Boss. I think it's $29 a month. For that one, you can do the full Monty on there. Or if you're fine having the capability of flexing to that and getting money because you're not sure you're going to ever sell anything off that, and you just want to have the capability to do that, but don't want to pay the $29, the extra $20 a month to have that capability, it does do that in your account. And then what I can do is just I can just provide that money back to you from mine if you make any sales. And then what I'll probably do at that point is just charge that $20 fee or that extra fee for that that month that you made sales there, just to recoup the cost. So it's basically like the lower tier plan that can flex up to that higher tier plan whenever you want. But I'm just telling everybody now, just as a general functionality for this price, what you're going to do is have that baseline functionality without the money, because it's basically there's some extra work that we'd have to do to get that money back to you. But it does have the capability to do that inside of the account that you're going to get for that $5 a month. So I can answer any questions on that. I know that was probably a little bit convoluted, but just if you think about right now is just the lowest tier, it does all the booking stuff without the money stuff. It is $60 a year for that espresso pricing value. So while I set up the live thing and go there or answer any questions, I'm going to talk. If you want to think about questions, I'm going to toss it over to John real quick. And if you could just talk to me about your page a little bit. I'm going to pull up your page live, or you can do it. I'll pull up on my end, and then you can just talk to it as we go there. So I'm going to pull it up. Just go ahead. Oh, sorry. I'm going to turn you back on there. I think I had you off. There you go.
All right. So now to share my desktop, what do I need to do, my friend?
Well, I'll just pull it up, because I think I didn't have you set up as a presenter. I probably should have done that, but I'll just pull it up on my side.
Okay.
And it's just helpingours.com, right?
Yes. And yeah. Hey, that's great. Well, I totally agree with you, Ryan. This is the absolute perfect program from somebody who has a directory and wants to make sure people don't get away. Number one, you can have a button on there that says schedule a 10-minute meet with me right now, and then they can register there, and you're going to get their email address, and then you can answer all the questions they have, do screen sharing, help them get signed up if they have questions about that, and then also for onboarding after they've signed up. It's a phenomenal program for that for so many reasons. Because it goes ahead and shows your calendar, allows them to reserve your time. If, like I do, you're billing for your time, it'll go ahead and allow them to pay you either by Stripe or by PayPal, as you said, which is extremely nice to be paid beforehand. Then you can do all the things you'd be able to do in Zoom, share your screen. You could even record it, so that for that example, if you're onboarding somebody, there's a lot of things in there that you want to make sure that they know how to do. And time is money, as we know. So it's really beneficial to you and to them that they can go ahead and watch the replay whenever they want. Now, I do more of the billing for my time, for business solutions, for courses, books, manuals, that kind of thing. So what I really like about it, again, is that it makes it very easy for me to tell people what I do, for them to see my calendar, for them to reserve my time. And so it just eliminates a lot of the time wasting on back and forth to ask if you can be available next Thursday at 3 o'clock. It's just automatically done. It confirms by email that you have that meeting. And then the next thing I like about it is it creates the Zoom room for you. And that's big, Ryan, that it creates it without you having to pay. I only pay $15 a month for the pro version of Zoom, but hey, that's $15 a month. And the software, the Book Like a Boss, will go ahead and, I don't know how they do that. They must have a special program, an offer through Zoom, an arrangement with them, but that really makes it nice. So again, then it sends them email and you an email to let them know that you have a meeting scheduled. Then prior to the meeting, it'll send them another email as a reminder. Then the other thing it does that I did not know that it would do this, and it does so many things well at one time, is you can even set up the ability to have recurring billing. So with me, a lot of times I will do, and you probably see that on the, if you scroll down, Ryan, thank you, sir, to the first three options, The first one being the help in ours offered, and then let's meet for a discovery call to the right of that, and then if you need help right away. I absolutely love this, that I have the ability to give people a discovery call, and so we can meet, and I collect their email address so I can go ahead and tell them about this or another offer later on. Then I can also say, hey, if you need help right now, I'm available right now. And that's one of the nice things about this software, is that sometimes people need help now and they don't want to wait to schedule something through a Fiverr and all those programs. So they can just go ahead and book you right now, pay you right now, get help right now, record it, the whole bit. So that is very, very perfect for me. Another thing I like about this is, Ryan, if you click on that free 30-minute lead capture and marketing system under details, you will see as you scroll down to the bottom. Boy, I hope you can hear me, right, everybody?
Yep.
All right. So you can see that they have an FAQ. So this is almost like, to me, a sales tool as much as a time saver, because they get down to the bottom and they can see things like, hey, can I really use the software for 30 days as a test or for free? And is it free? And they click here. It has a little pull down menu. And then you can also include the links, of course, where they can go ahead and get signed up. You above that, you can have the testimonials. And then above that is the calendar where they can see the.
And John, and the really important thing about this, I kind of alluded to it, but this is kind of seen it in action. This is every single one of these booking things. It has, not only do you have this stuff on the front page, it also has it unique to this. So when he said this is you can add a testimonial for this product or this service. It's the FAQ for this service. It's not like for your website or for your entire offerings. It's for that service. So if you go to a different service, it's not going to have those FAQs or that testimonial, right? Potentially, because this is per that particular item. But go ahead.
I love it. You're absolutely right. Another thing related to that is that you can either send them to your main page where they see all the offers and they can see information about you, or you can send them to one specific offer. So each one of those offers that you see has a unique URL that you can send them to that. And it goes even further than that. You can send them the longer version where they can read everything, the FAQ that I showed you, and the testimonials, or you can send them to a shorter version that just, hey, it's a very clean, professional looking page that has doesn't have the menus on the left, and it doesn't have some, like you said, all of the, it's always the same for that particular offer. It's not global, is what you were talking about. So yeah, another thing that you can do with this, I'm glad you brought that up. Another thing you can do with this is you can actually sell specific items. So or use it as a lead magnet. For example, there is at the very bottom right-hand side, Ryan, where it says the free guide to billing for your time, how to easily schedule, bill, and collect for your time. That is probably a 16-page PDF that talks about this software, and I'm sure that anybody's going to get the package from Ryan today would want to read that if you're doing any kind of billing. And even if you're not, it's okay, because it does a lot of print screens. It has a lot of print screens of how to go ahead and use the software, and then specifically for the Zoom, how to start the room, how to share your screen, how to mute the mic, things like that, and especially recording. I think that's the most important thing, as we were talking about earlier. A lot of this, the goal is to save time, to educate people and make them more successful with their directory, so that they spend more time and money on the site and more time with you. Yeah, so very, very beneficial program there. And another thing that I was really pleased to see is that you can schedule the events, like you were saying, Ryan, for more than one person at a time, even if it's billable. So if you're wanting to be a private event, then you just say, hey, I only want one person there. If it's something where you want to do some training and you're saying it's $25, or like you were saying, maybe it's just $5. I mean, 5 people, even if it's free, you can go ahead and say how many people you want in that event at one time. And it's just phenomenal. I'm going to look through my notes here that on this document that I had set up and see if there's anything else I wanted to share.
That's great, John. Yeah, just go and do that. I'm going to go ahead and share the. You're going to mute yourself real quick there while I'm talking. We have some feedback. There we go. I'll just go over the screen here. If you want to jump in, if you find anything in your notes there, that'd be great. I'm just going to kind of do. I'm not going to make a walkthrough of everything here. I just want to kind of show you the dashboard here. This will have your orders here. So obviously, if there's, it'll give you your monitor thing, and it'll have like all your upcoming meetings here where you can click into the meeting dynamically. If you have this hooked to your calendars here, it'll actually have your schedule for the day. So you can kind of see not only in here, but it shows you everything else in your calendars for the day. So you can kind of see how your bookings fit into your schedule. The obviously has your profile details, and this is the exact thing you're going to see if you guys order it today. Which I've already had a couple of orders already. So I'll get those set up in for everybody. And then if you still want one, there may be some available. Again, I only have 5 available. If they're gone, they're gone. So this is what we already showed you before. Testimonials, for example. You just click add testimonials and you can add that stuff in there real easy. The text colors and fonts, you can edit the setup for that, for all the different colors of your section. You can rename sections. So if you don't want to say testimonials, you can make it say whatever you want. So kind of customization all over the place for that page. This is the gallery I was talking to you about adding stuff up here to drag files. So it does look like it's just images. I think I said video, so I apologize on that. But there's just 10 images basically that it allows you to put in there. Profile photos. So this is the header screen and your profile photo that we had for John's headscape there, and then his logo stuff. That's where you change that. And then here's the FAQs. So you can add, and this is the general page, right? For the overall page, you can add the FAQ. And then the integrations are just kind of one-click integrations. You just click connect for Zoom. It literally, I'm going to connect this to my Zoom and show you how easy it is to do that. I think this is hovering over there for the sharing stuff. Hold on, there we go. So you one-click button, say integrate with Zoom, and done. It just connected to my Zoom meeting, and that's it. It now is going to make a Zoom meeting for every one of these videos. So that's exactly how easy it is. You can add a YouTube ID in there. So if you have a YouTube video to play at the top of your page, you can do that. Integrates natively into MailChimp and Gist if you have that. Again, without using Zapier, it has a direct connection to them. You can do Google Analytics for that, Facebook Pixel, and do retargeting ads right in there. And then I use the call page and the dub video to integrate into there. So those are 2 great ones. These are just all the built-in ones, but then you have, I guess, I said 2,000. I apologize. There's only 1,000 apps that you can integrate that with Zapier. Messages, that's basically where you can talk back and forth to people. So if you have anything, messages will show up in here. You can chat back and forth from your bookings. Here's the booking schedule to show you that real quick. You can basically add it per day. So you'd basically say, I'm available from 9 to 5 on Sunday. I'm going to apply that to everybody except for Saturdays. I am not available. So that's it. I just did my weekly schedule. I'm not available Saturdays. Every other day, 9 to 5. And then let's say I'm available from noon to 5 on Mondays. That's 12 p.m. to 5 because I have something in the morning. That's it. And then you hit save, or auto saves on that, and that's it. That's pretty easy on the scheduling stuff. The calendar, again, this integrates with any calendar that you could ever think about using, and it also puts all your appointments on the calendar once they're on here. So all you do is go add calendar. I'll just demo how easy this is. You pick anything you want: Outlook, Exchange, Office 365, Google, or iCloud. I'm just going to do my iCloud as an example. You put in your Apple ID and your app password, and you link the account, and literally that is it. I just added my Google Calendar and the Apple iCloud calendar because those are tied together for me, and that's it. You see how quickly it added that in there. And now I have 2 connected calendar accounts. You can also manage those and change which one of those that you want for the connected calendars as well. Here's what we talked about before about the new time off event, where you can say, hey, I have something, a family picnic on Saturday. I just want a new time off. It'll just override your calendar based off from a one-time event, so you don't have to change your booking schedule. Your appointments, this is where you set up your actual individual appointments. You can add individual appointments as opposed to having a product or service. You basically just say, hey, I want to add one-off appointment, and it'll allow you to do that. And you basically say it's going to be a 1 hour appointment or 0 hours and 20-minute appointment. I want the 1 hour padding and I want 1 hour and 20-minute padding. This is the cutoff days we talked about, the interval. I want to do that every 1 hour. We can have a maximum of 5 participants. You can do interval amount of bookings per day. Let's say you want to only have one of these a day. I'm only going to do this once. Cut off, and you can actually do rescheduling. We didn't talk about this earlier, but the person can also reschedule themselves. So they don't even have to call you. There's like, crap, 10 o'clock doesn't work. They can go in there and say reschedule for 11. It'll automatically cancel it off from your calendar, rebook it, and send you the rebooking information to your system automatically without you doing anything. Has a success message and the redirect URL, so you could push them to your directory page or anything else that you want after their schedule. And then this is your magical create a meeting in a Zoom when booked. Boom, you do that, and that's it. One button, create the meeting in Zoom. Because I integrated Zoom from before, it's already built into that. Let me see what other items here are required. Let's see. Okay, I got to save changes and then makes the other tabs available here. That's right. So here I set this up in the calendar settings. So basically it asks me which calendars I want to add those bookings to. So let's say this is work calendar. So I'm going to add that to the work calendar on my iCloud, and it's a calls thing on my Google Calendar. I'm going to add the calls for there. So that's what that'll do. Now I can do profile details, or do title, the about me in the sidebar. I can do cover media. And again, this is for this listing. When John showed you that page for that particular booking, that's these details for that page. Text and font, testimonials, FAQ. So again, this is all custom per the landing page for that particular event. And this is what he was talking about the light and the full URL. I'll just show you the light and then the full. Again, I don't have anything set up on here, so it's not going to be complete. But you see how this is just the light one. It's literally just saying, and these are those settings I had just set up there with the hour buffer and the 20-minute thing. And then this is the full page. And again, it'd have the about us, FAQ, et cetera, if you already had set that up. So that's the appointments. There's the products and services. Again, this is going to be available on there if you get it today. But you can set it up there and just make it for free if you don't want to charge. But it allows you to have packages, like he said before, so you could buy like an entire package or a bunch of different sessions or whatever. You're going to kind of set those up. It's the same stuff, only just you can add the pricing on there. And then they also have a new, this is brand new, where it has events, so you can actually make a webinar type thing for a one-day meetup or a group events or something like that, where you can set up a maximum attendees and you can set all the details up for a particular event, kind of like a webinar. So I'll just call this webinar. And again, let's say I'm still doing the work and the calls. And then it just walks you through there. And it basically makes a kind of a webinar scheduling page. So it's not like the other one. It's basically an event page that it sets you up for. Let me just click through a bunch of random stuff here. Create a meeting. And I have no padding on that. And again, it has the same stuff, but now it has the toolkit and the light URL, and it's kind of set up for that stuff. So let me see what that looks like. And I think it. And so you see how it sets it up as an event. So now, because this was already in the past, it says this event can no longer be joined because it was in the past. So these are basically like timed events, one-off things where you set it on the calendar, it shows up, and then it goes away because it was like an event that you're charging people either to go to or to go to the Zoom reading. So this is almost now set up kind of like a webinar system as well, where you can charge somebody for webinar, and then that just goes away as soon as that event is there. It's not like it's a service they can continually go here and buy, or a continuous half-hour meeting that is offered. It's at a particular time and date, and then just goes away. I think you guys get the point, but it's basically events, and that's brand new and a really new, great feature. Here's the coupon that we talked about, where you can set up stuff if you're charging for them. The embeds, I think it went without saying, even though we didn't say it before, is you can embed this right on your directory and add that in there on the page. Let me just show you one live because I forgot about that. I just want to show it to you what it looks like. It literally, you just add the code to your page and it shows up natively in a widget, and it works good. There's just my share page for my Hudsonville page. I think this is still live. Yep. So it shows up. I've got a bunch of different options that you can share on social media, fill out a survey. I have a Feedier survey on here, just a BD form. And then right here, it says, let's chat. I just embedded that widget right in here for that website account setup. So this is the same thing that you'd find in that bookme.name/mlocal that I normally link to off from my directory toolkit. You can put that directly on your website as opposed to them going to another page. It's literally right in your directory. And so that embed function works great. And that's how you add the new embed. And again, you can change all the different colors around. You can turn off the branding. And something I didn't add on there for I'm just going to go show you guys the pricing because I kind of mentioned that earlier. Something that is not available in theirs that is available in mine, and I'm going to put that on the website as well, is you cannot remove the branding from on their espresso plan. And again, annual billing for them is $90, but for mine, you can remove that branding. So that's key as well if you don't want to show their branding. And then you can see all of your orders if you're buying it. You can see all your bookings. And then probably importantly as well, if you're using that as a lead magnet, you can see all your client information data here as well and be able to grab that data and utilize that. And again, if you're linking that in integration to another system through Zapier or whatever, you can send that to your GetResponse or your MailChimp or whatever CRM package that Tony that you're using or anybody else is using to get that data out of the system. So it's just